Jimmy K here, Metal Voice. Look at this. The Metal Voice shirts are now on sale. Just go to the video description to find out on how you can purchase one. Metal!
Here we are at the Metal Voice Top 10 2018 albums, and we're at the second show where we go from 5 to 1. I have my top 10 list, Jimmy has his top 10 list, and we've done parts 10 to 6 on a previous show, so check that out. And now we're going to do our top 5.
But before we get there, Alan, let's see what Milwaukee Tom has to say about his top album of 2018.
Hi, Tom here. My selection for the top album slash favorite album of 2018 is this gem right here. Primal Fear, Apocalypse. Great singing, great musicianship, colossal power drumming. Just a great album by a great band. So again, it's Primal Fear, Apocalypse.
Great choice, Tom, because that made my top of the 10 list as well.
There you go. All right, so here we go, Alan. Let's do one of ours, and we'll go to Neil Turbin and see what he thinks.
Neil Turbin on the West Coast.
That's right. All right, number 5 for me, the one, the only. This is part 3, Blaze Bayley.
I knew that was going to sneak in there somewhere.
The redemption of William Black.
Jim being the
Infinite Entanglement.
Huge Blaze Bayley fan.
Blaze Bayley.
He's been listening to all of them since day one, and there's the end of the trilogy.
That's right.
Well, or is it?
Well, no, it is.
Well, the book's supposed to come out. Isn't there a book supposed to come out?
A book's going to come out. Now, so he says. You know what? Again, great songs. His backing band, Absolva, great band. Just well-written music. 3 albums in a row, solid albums. All 3 of them, solid songs, great singing, great musicianship, and actually this production is a lot better than probably the first 2. I guess it's just because over time, right, things just get better. Hats off to Blaze Bayley, The Redemption of William Black, part 3 of Infinite Entanglement.
The hardest working man in metal.
That's right, that's right.
Maybe Ripper might be a close second.
Yeah, Ripper might be a close second. Okay.
All right, Jim, I'm going to my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
W.E.T.
Yes.
Wet. Ooh. With Earth Rage.
Yes.
And of course, that's a work of art, Eclipse, and Talisman. That's how we come up with the acronym W.E.T. Uh-huh. And as you know, I'm a huge Eclipse fan.
Yep.
Eric Martinson is gold. This guy, everything he touches turns to gold. Nordic Union also had an album up this year that would have made my top 10. And then it came in at number 11. But I found this is my melodic selection. You know, I always sneak one in, Jim.
Sneak it in.
I always have one melodic section. This is mine for 2018. You got Jeff Scott Soto on vocals. You got the boys from Eclipse as a backing band and writers. And I just love anything those guys do. So it comes out that strong. For me, it was really the production that stood out. Top-notch vocals, everything about it. It's just a great album. I was going to try to say they were top 2 or 3 songs, and they're all great. Yeah, they're all great. So saying that, a lot of the stuff is somewhat similar, as we know when you're always using the same writers. I like to would have seen a little bit more variation, but Elegantly Wasted would be one that stands out. And just top-notch performances, top-notch production right across the board. It's nice to hear something as clear and crisp and as great as the musicianship is on this album. So that is W.E.T. Earth Rage here on the Metal Voice, coming in number 5.
All right, let's go to David Reece. Let's see what his top album of 2018 is.
2018 has been a great year for rock music. Making a choice for my favorite album has been pretty tough for me. But I went back and I listened and listened and listened again and again and again, and watched the live shows, the touring, the strength of the man's voice, the strength of the songs, and just the whole band as a whole have continued on and stronger and stronger and stronger. So my choice, voting for the best album of 2018, is Judas Priest, Firepower. Numero uno. Thank you all, and see you soon.
When David comes back, David made Jim's top 10 of this solo album.
Yeah,
so thank you for that, David.
All right.
Thank you for all your support here on the Metal Voice.
All right, here's my number 4. We're at 4? We're at 4.
I think we're at 4.
4. All right. The one, the only Mr. Udo.
Yes.
Dirk Schneider, Steel Factory. You know, this is the album Accept Never Made album. This is the album
I had the same thing
made.
coming off of those Accept Back to the Root tours.
Yeah.
There's a few songs on there that could have fit right on Metal Heart quite easily.
Great album.
Very good album. I enjoyed listening to it.
And I'm still reaching for it. It's the old reach. It's the old reach.
More like pressing the button.
A cool thing about this album is it's the first album that his son Sven, Dirk Schneider, was on. And also, sadly, it's the last album with Fiddy. Fiddy's going to be on. He's no longer in the band, so this is his last album. Nevertheless, great album. It's a must pick up for
strong album
for the Christmas New Year's.
Again, another guy that just keeps plugging them out and keeps quite enjoyable. So
right. So what do you got?
Well, speaking of that, Jim, here's a band and another friend of the show. That we reviewed earlier in the year, Stryper's Goddamn Evil. And you know what, like Michael, he's got his ear, he's always staying current, he's got his ear, he calls in for our opinions, what we're listening to. He's always been the guy to try to reinvent himself to the sound of the day, but always keeping Stryper true to its roots. And I think if you listen to this album, you got Take It to the Cross, which is something that was completely different for them. So hats off for Michael for, you get people, it's always the same. It's always the same. There's a few bands on our list that we can say, it's always the same. It's good, but it's always the same.
Yep.
You can't say that about Stryper. So you got some classic Stryper sounding songs on that album, and you got some that are way off the bat. Exactly. That's a good example. And also, I just love Michael's producing the band now. And the drum sound he's getting from Robert's drums, it's probably the best. I've always struggled with the drum sound, and I think Michael's been able to capture.
Is he still playing sideways?
I don't know if he does that in the studio, but
is he still playing sideways, Alan?
So there you go. I think Michael's captured a great drum sound. And again, a strong album coming in at number 4, Goddamn Evil, from Stryper.
All right, now going to L.A.
Neil Turbin.
LA,
West Coast superstar.
That's right.
He's well known everywhere he goes. Everybody loves Neil. And here he is in 2018.
What's his top pick of 2018? Neil, what you got?
What's happening, everyone? You're watching The Metal Voice. This is the best albums of 2018. Thanks for watching. Saxon, Thunderbolt. What an amazing album. So I think Saxon really has, stepped it up to the next level. I think they're brilliant on this album, Thunderbolt, and that's why they're, a top pick for me. Tied with Judas Priest, Firepower, and you got to give it to the Priest for coming out with such a strong return to form. Priest is back and stronger than ever, and so is Saxon. So in fact, they did a tour together, and I want to give special recognition to a few more albums because these albums are incredible as well. And they're live albums or soundtracks. So you have Thunder Stage, which was filmed at the Motor Point Arena, Manchester, and what an amazing performance. I mean, Thunder does not disappoint. I would definitely check out that album. It came out on CD and DVD. And also, there's a couple of others. Actually, the Glenn Hughes box set, which is called the official bootleg for Glenn Hughes. It's a 7 CD collection of live performances. Amazing. You can't go wrong with Glenn Hughes. And also, Accept, the Symphonic Terror with the orchestra live at Wacken 2017. just an amazing release, and brilliant to have the Accept material with a symphony, and you can check it out on CD and DVD. Happy Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa. Back over to you, Jimmy.
Number 3, Alan.
Oh,
number 3. Here it
the
comes.
top
Here
three.
it comes.
The
Here
top
it
three.
comes.
Wow.
All right. The one, the only. We just saw them recently, not too long ago, maybe 6 months ago. Saxon, Thunderbolt. Again, what can you say about these guys? Another album of Saxon songs, right?
Yeah.
Just relentless, album after album. Well-crafted songs.
They played rock and roll.
Yeah, you got a tribute to Lemmy on that album.
Yeah.
It's just...
They really captured the Motorhead sound. Sorry about that, Jim.
Yeah, they
Motorhead
did.
sound.
They did.
And also, when you got something like Nosferatu, the Vampire Waltz, there's
Nosferatu.
something that's completely different as well. So a nice variation. And again, another band that keeps
Killer.
cranking them out. Solid album from our friends Saxon.
All right, what do you got? Number 3.
Number 3, I got to go back. I'm going back to the Canadian Well.
Go back to
A
Canadian
band
Well.
I've been promoting ever since their last albums. Since the beginning, actually. I loved Purgatory. Made my top 10 list a couple years ago,
Yes.
all the way up to the top 3. I think it came in at number 2, and it's Borealis and The Offering. These guys have it all. They have it all. They can do it all. They sound interesting. They've got great vocals, great production, great drums, everything you want, but hardly anybody knows them, Jim. So I'm plugging them again this year. I want everybody to check out Borealis, The Offering, and then go back and check out Purgatory, and I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. So that's Borealis, Canada's own, a couple of fellow Canucks, coming in with The Offering at my number 3 spot on my top 10 list.
All right, let's go to Mr. Giles Lavery, all the way in Germany. Giles, what's your top pick for 2018?
Hey guys, it's good to be here on the Metal Voice to talk about my favorite album of 2018, which is Fifth Angel, The Third Secret. What a fantastic, stunning comeback album. If you're at all concerned that what would Fifth Angel sound like almost 30 years later, well, it's classic Fifth Angel. It stands right there alongside the debut and second album Time Will Tell as utterly essential and one of the highlights of the metal genre in the last, I would even say 20 years. There's probably been about 10 albums that stack up to this. That's how good it is. So if you like US metal of all kinds, I'm thinking Leatherwolf, Queensryche, anything like that, I mean, you've got to check out Fifth Angel if you haven't done this already. The new album, The Third Secret. And again, my choice for 2018.
Fifth Angel,
Yeah,
great album.
pick.
Very, very, very classic Dio-esque sound. It's a great album, though.
Dio-esque.
Dio-esque. All right, here we go. Number 2. All right, a lot of people might love me for this. A lot of people may hate me for this, but I don't care. The one, the only Voivod, The Wake. Right when you thought everything has been done, right when you thought all metal has been, every drum beat or drum blast or guitar solo has been done over and over again, here comes Voivod, breaking out of the box. It's a concept album, and you know what? It's just going off on all tangents. It's refreshing, it's new. Probably one of the best productions in 2018 in terms of an album, in my opinion. But hats off to Voivod. Great album. I interviewed them at Heavy Montreal. It was cool to sit there and finally after so many years and talk to them. But I'm really happy that this album came out great, and it's my number 2, Alan.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Another Canadian band. We're starting to see a theme here, Jim.
Yes.
And so my number 2 is... Here's a band that's been plugging away out of Pittsburgh for 15 years now.
Yep.
Ikaros, Witch.
Ikaros.
Goodbye, Cruel World. Now, I was lucky to see them open for White Wizard.
Yes.
Back in, was it 2012 already? Their album Rise had come out. Loved the album. Should have made my top 10 list there that year. And they haven't done anything since 2012. Here's another example of how hard it is to make it in the music industry, because that album was unbelievable. I still listen to it to this day. And they got a new singer. So Andrew DeCagna
Yes.
He's a new singer, great voice. And again, I want, this is probably the closest thing on my list to be something that's a little original. I mean, something that you listen to, like, okay, well, no, I can't really place that sound. And so, again, why aren't these guys bigger? You know, there's you can hear a little bit of Queensryche influence in there, a little Maiden on their one and only instrumental that they've ever released on an album called The Flood. These guys should be much bigger than they are. They're struggling, of course, like a lot of young bands, releasing albums every, there's been 6 years now. So we need them, guys, encourage them. Let's get these guys up and able to record on a more consistent basis, because it's well worth the listen. Ikaros Witch, Goodbye, Cruel World.
All right. Here we go, Alan. Here we go. Let me just bring out the walnut.
There you go. The big,
Bring out the walnut. You got to be very careful.
Jim loves the walnut.
All right, here it is. So, like every year, there's protocol.
Oh, here we go.
Here's a protocol. So, this is what happens. So, everybody remembers. First, I hold the walnut, right?
Okay, is this how it goes?
Step one. Step two, I open it. I pull out my pick.
Yes.
And I show the world what my number one pick is. So they're both in here, by the way.
Okay, then you hand off the walnut to me, and I do the same.
Exactly.
Okay, this is a metal voice tradition here since day one.
This is a very heavy walnut, by the way.
Yes, it's a solid nut.
All right.
Held by a nut, solid nut.
That's it. So here I go.
You need help opening the walnut.
The walnut will be opened. Okay.
And
here
the winner is the top 10.
And I will give you the nut here. Let me just.
Jim's top 10. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Here it is. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Judas Priest, Firepower.
There you go. There's Jim's number one in his top 10.
After so many years of cranking out albums, is this their best of their career? Probably not. Is this the worst of their career? No. But to be so consistent after so many years, this is definitely a solid album. It's not my favorite from the Judas Priest catalog, but my God, it's somewhere in the middle of the pack. You know, song after song. Rob is sounding better than ever. Yeah, I do miss KK, but nevertheless, the guitar solos are great. Richie does an amazing job. The whole band, just a well put together album. Great. Look at this beautiful package. Anyways, bottom line is, great album, deserves to be number one if you ask me. All right, Alan, you ready for yours? Hand it, please. Please, be careful. I will open it for you, and then you will reach in, all right? Here we go.
All right, this is the one.
You ready? Ready? There, show it. Now
Michael Schenkerfest, Resurrection.
Yes.
You know what, Jim? There's always an album that that sets the bar for the year.
Yeah.
And everything that comes before or after kind of has to measure up to this album. I said when I reviewed this album, possible winner for 2018.
Yeah.
And it is. Gary Barden. Graham Bonnet.
Yeah, the bonnet.
Robin McCauley.
Yeah.
Love that guy. Love that voice. And Doogie White. Blend together the voices. They each take a shot. And Michael's playing is some of the best I think he's ever done.
Yeah, it's true.
You got Take Me to the Church, I love. The Last Supper, The Girl with the Stars in Her Eyes. I mean, every song in this is strong. And then, you know, we were lucky enough to see the concert.
Yeah, it's great.
Where they played for almost 2.5 hours.
Probably one of the best concerts.
Non-stop, everybody came out and they played their hits from each era, each era from each different singer, all the hits. And he never got off stage once.
This is a present I gave to my brother.
Yeah. He never got off the stage once.
Oh, it's incredible.
So that goes to show you the quality of the musicianship that can be found on this album.
Yep.
All the guys from this past are here, and it's just a true joy. And again, Jim, the songs, the craftsmanship, the music, the voices. That was the one that was set early in 2018. The bar was set high, and as far as I'm concerned, nobody else could live up to this album. Yeah. And that's why it's number one on my top 10 list for 2018. Michael Schenkerfest, Resurrection.
A few honorable mentions. I thought there were some cool albums. Angra, Omni, Ghost, Prequel, and I think Satan. You know, Satan the band, not Satan the guy.
Not Satan Ghost.
Cruel Magic. I thought they came out with a really great new wave of British heavy metal album. I was kind of like on, teetering on, should I put them on my list or not? But nevertheless, Ghost, Angra, and Satan are two great albums that people should really, three great albums that people should pick up. How about you?
I had Little Caesar 8.
Little Caesar.
But, it wasn't too metal enough for me to fit the list.
Yep.
And, of course, our Camelot, The Shadow Theory,
Yes.
is another great album that they're touring, and they're continuing to tour into 2019. So those are two and Saint and Sinners as well, their second album, I thought were three strong albums that could have made the list equally as well.
There you have it. Another year, 2018, best albums, and I have Firepower over there, so I won't have to put it up there. But I'll hold the nut, because this is what it's all about, the golden nut. Thank you, everybody, for watching this year at the Metal Voice. Happy holidays. I'm not sure if that's, I don't know when
Check in for 2019, and we'll start it all over again.
There you go.
So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch the Metal Voice all the way, and then you'll see next year's list. So